The history of the Washington quarter in 1979 begins with the roots of the series itself, which was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by sculptor John Flanagan featured a left-facing portrait of Washington on the obverse, while the reverse showed the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, a symbol of national pride and strength. By the time 1979 arrived, the Washington quarter had already become one of the most familiar and widely circulating coins in the United States, known for its consistency, durability, and everyday usefulness. The year 1979 stands out as a point in modern coinage when the U.S. Mint was transitioning toward more efficient production methods, adapting to changing metal compositions, and meeting the needs of a growing economy. In 1979, the Washington quarter continued to be struck in the copper-nickel-clad composition first introduced in 1965 after silver was removed from regular circulation coins. This clad composition used an inner core of pure copper surrounded by outer layers of copper-nickel, giving the coin its recognizable silvery appearance while reducing production costs. The shift away from silver more than a decade earlier had stabilized by 1979, but collectors and the public still often compared the sound weight and shine of clad quarters with the earlier silver versions. The 1979 quarter remained part of the long-running series, where millions were minted and quickly spread into commerce across the nation. During this year, the U.S. Mint operated at 3 primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Denver struck the bulk of the circulating 1979 quarters, while San Francisco focused on proof coinage for collectors. The Philadelphia mint coins carried no mint mark. Denver coins displayed the D mint mark, and the San Francisco proof quarters featured the S mint mark, the Philadelphia. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters to support heavy daily demand in trade vending, transportation, and general commerce, making the 1979 issue one of the more common dates in the modern series. The design used in 1979 remained faithful to Flanagan's original work, though subtle modifications had occurred over the decades, such as changes in rim thickness, relief, and sharpening of details to improve striking clarity. These changes were often the result of updates to minting technology and routine die refinements, not major redesigns. The obverse portrait of Washington continued to be iconic, representing leadership and historical legacy, while the eagle on the reverse reinforced national identity and tradition. The simplicity and symbolism of the design kept it popular among the public, even as collectors debated whether a new modern design should eventually replace it. Another aspect that makes 1979 interesting is the broader coin-collecting environment. Of the late 1970s, when collectors were growing more enthusiastic about varieties, errors, and small differences in coins, minting quality during the decade was sometimes inconsistent, leading to minor variations in strike sharpness, coin alignment, or die wear. While the 1979 quarter is not known for major dramatic varieties, collectors often look for strong strikes, proof-like surfaces, and high-grade examples in mint state conditions. Quarters from circulation typically experienced heavy wear, making high-grade survivors more desirable, especially those with clean fields, strong luster, and minimal contact marks. Proof coins from 1979 struck at the San Francisco Mint were made using polished dies and planchets to achieve a mirror-like finish. These coins were sold in annual proof sets and became favorites among collectors due to their sharp details, frosted devices, and brilliant reflective surfaces. The San Francisco Mint placed emphasis on quality control for proof production, which resulted in beautifully produced examples, though occasional imperfections or cameo strength differences still attract collector attention today. Because proof coins were not meant for circulation, they represent the highest quality version of the 1979 Washington quarter. Economically, the United States in the late 1970s faced inflation, rising costs of living, and changes in consumer spending, which impacted the demand for circulating coinage. The Mint increased quarter production to keep up with vending, machines, transportation systems, and everyday transactions. The 1979 quarter therefore reflects a period of growing reliance on coin-operated systems in American life. From payphones to bus fares, laundromats, and parking meters, the quarter became one of the most heavily used denominations, and the mint responded with large production numbers to meet national needs. From a historical perspective, the 1979 Washington quarter also sits at the threshold of major coinage changes that would unfold in the following decades. Just 2 decades later, the reverse of the Washington quarter would change dramatically with the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999, making earlier issues like the 1979 quarter part of a long era of the classic eagle reverse collectors today. Look back at these pre-state quarters as the traditional style coins that defined American currency for over 60 years. In terms of rarity and value, most 1979 quarters hold their face value in circulated condition because so many were made, but high-grade mint state coins certified by grading services can command higher premiums. Coins graded MS-65, MS-66, or above are less common due to contact marks, bag handling, and normal minting practices. Even more valuable are high-grade proof coins with strong cameo contrast from San Francisco, which appeal to serious collectors who seek visually striking examples. Although not a rare date, the 1979 quarter plays an important role in understanding the evolution of the series and the standards of modern minting. The legacy of the 1979 Washington quarter is rooted in continuity, technological progress, and nationwide utility. It represents a time when the Washington quarter stood as a stable and trusted coin used by millions every day, while also maintaining a quiet presence in coin collections and mint sets. Its design, durability, and historical placement make it an essential entry in the timeline of American numismatics. For this documentary, this coin offers a rich story of history production, design, public use, and collector significance, showing how even a common date like 1979 can reveal deep connections to American culture, minting traditions, and economic change. The story of the Washington quarter in 1979 becomes even more meaningful when exploring the deeper context of American coinage development and the way the mint operated during that era. The 1970s were a decade of transition for the United States Mint, as it adopted more advanced machinery, automated processes, and improved die-making techniques. These improvements influenced the appearance, consistency, and durability of coins, including the 1979 quarter. Before this period, minting involved more manual oversight and slower production methods, but by 1979, the mint was moving toward higher output efficiency and greater uniformity, which explains the enormous quantities of quarters that entered circulation that year.